a stackable washer and dryer right there. I think it makes sense. The dryer outlet is over there, obviously. The dryer's there, the washer's there. So I said, instead of putting the stackable over here and having the dryer hose exposed over here to hook up wherever the hose is. Yeah, see the hose is way over here. And then you've got the plug for the dryers over here. I thought, let's just put the stackable over here. And the furthest that the washer is going to be exposed, obviously, is this here, you know, but that's okay. And the drain's down inside of there, so the wall from here down is going to be empty, and from there up. So we could put some shelves up there. We could put a cabinet up there, open shelves, or a cabinet with doors, whatever. That'll give us a little bit of room. We don't have much room in this condo, and so she was talking like, let's redo the bathrooms too. Well, that's something we can do later on down the road. That's not going to affect anything other than right where the carpet is, where the transition is, the carpet dies down in there. Well, we'll probably just pull the carpet up and work around that, and then whatever flooring happens, I think we're going to take the tub out, the shower enclosed area, the surrounds is tile. We're going to take that out, put a different tile. We're going to take the tub out. She wants just a walk-in shower. She says, hey, I don't care if there's a tub in here for the guests. You know, this is just going to be a little guest bedroom. If somebody stays here for the night, they take a shower instead of a bathtub and a shower. Big wow. Okay, and then we can put a glass piece from here over all the way up, or, you know, yay high, and just have this open with no shower door, no nothing. And I was hoping to get the tile to transition and flow straight in and then down. Hopefully there's enough slope there. We may have to do something for the floor to do something with that, so you don't have to step up. So it's kind of like a handicap accessible type area, other than the widths and everything, but you can just walk straight in. We'll put grab bars and all that kind of stuff. But see, all that can be done at a later time, right? Without affecting the new carpet out here, without affecting anything. Same thing in the master bedroom, bathroom. Okay, if she wants to redo that later, okay, fine. She likes the big tub, and it's a jetted tub. This front you can pull out in case you need to get down in there. That's kind of slick. And okay, so the shower's not very big. I don't know. We may have to have a shower door on there, but because the shower head's here, she's talking like maybe instead of having a shower door, maybe having a glass panel from here to there or something. I don't know. See, this one we may have to go with the shower door. She doesn't like shower doors. She likes to just be able to walk in. Maybe we can walk in here, an opening from here to there with a shower panel, and with the water not spraying out too far or something, or tile this whole wall too all the way through. So if you're taking a shower, if water sprays down this way, this could get wet, but hey, no biggie. If it just walks in, you know, with no ledge or anything. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But just giving you some developments. So you want to keep. Hopefully, you want to keep watching these videos, and I'm gonna put them all together. Condo. Refurbishing a condo, or condo enhancement, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who knows how many, you know, who knows exactly how I'm gonna title it. But I'll have everything from start to finish, so you can see all the different things that you have options. Hey, if you don't need to move into your condo right away, or your apartment, or your duplex, or your fourplex, your triplex, whatever it is, if you've got a few extra months, you might, and if you decide later on, oh, I want to do this, that, and the other thing, maybe you should just bite the bullet and do it all right now. You know, if you have the time, if you got the money, if you don't have the money and you want to save up, of course you can save all this like we were planning on doing to begin with. Of course, this carpet can be saved. You can re-stretch the carpet, and you can replace the carpet or later on with vinyl planking that goes all the way through here. When you got enough money, you can rip this up later and work around the cabinetry and all that kind of stuff. And you can do that later. You can save money. But see, here's the thing. Momi was over here the other day. She was cleaning baseboards because before I was going to paint all these baseboards, I wanted her to wipe them down, and then I wanted her to lightly sand them and then wipe them down so the paint sticks and everything. And see, here's all of her stuff right here. She's been cleaning them for a couple days now, and every once in a while she has seen little areas that were marked up on the bottom edge of the baseboard, almost look like piss, like dog pee or cat pee. And we knew that there was a dog or a cat in here from before, because we can see marks here at the top of the stairs, and this, it looks like there used to be a gate that went across here. And then when you come down here, it looks like there was something right here at the bottom of the stairs. See, there's a couple screws there, and then it looks like there's some remnants of self-adhesive tape that was on the wall that they pulled off, and it came across and it tied into this somehow. Okay, and there's also a cat door in here. See? There's a cat door, so I don't know if there was a cat in here before or if there was a small little dog, and they probably put their food in here, their poop box in here. But you know, we can't really smell any urine in here. It actually smells pretty good. But Momi's concern was, okay, who knows how long there's been a dog in here, there's been a cat in here. We've got a cat. And so here's Momi's thought. If our cat comes over here, if she smells another cat has been in here, she might start pissing, you know, to hide the other smells. Now she's not a cat that she's never done anything inside the house except in her poop box. But we don't want her to get the wrong idea or anything like that. And because we're planning on changing out these carpets anyways later on down the road, hey, we've decided let's go ahead and do it now. And so once I pull, the thing I'm getting at is once I pull up all this carpet and the carpet pad, I can go around all of the edges very carefully and look and see if there's any urine marks anywhere. I can take my Kills. I got some primer called Kills that will treat those areas. I can first take my Simple Green, you know, spray down in there and wipe in there with a sponge, with a rag, a brush, let's say, in the different areas where I see, okay, there's a spot, there's a spot, there's a spot, here's a spot. Good grief, what kind of cat or dog did they have around here? We don't see any marks on the floor, on the carpet, but there's nothing saying there's not marks underneath. And so I can now look at that, can I? Because I'm pulling up the carpet and the carpet pad. Okay, so then now I can treat all those areas. And here's another something. Now I don't have to cut in around the bottom of the baseboard, around the bottom of the door frames. I don't have to put any drops down to paint the ceiling, to paint the walls. I don't have to do any of that, do I? Once I pull this carpet up. So there's something else that's something I can take care of now, right? And there's another little cedar planking floor in this little bedroom. They did it as an upgrade. But every time I walk in here, there's a squeak right in here somewhere. Now it won't squeak, of course, when I walk in here. But there is a definite squeak, and then there's a panel here that's cracked, and I can feel it, the raised edge on there, and I don't know, it just doesn't look. I don't really like the look of it, and plus I don't smell any cedar. You might have smelled it when they first installed it for the first year or so, and so I'm going to be able to pull all that out. I'm going to be able to earmark exactly where the squeak is. And maybe the squeak is right over a floor joist, so I can put some screws in there and fix that before they install the new carpet. And there was also another squeak every time I came into this little bedroom right here. Come on, where is it? that funny? When I want it to squeak, it won't squeak. But there's a squeak right in this area. Each time I come into here, I can hear it, and I think, my word, do I want to hear that every time I walk into this bedroom? Well, once I pull up the carpet and the pad, I'll be able to see if I can't fix that squeak. Depending which way the floor joists are going, I'll put more screws into the floor joists, check it out, see if I can't fix that squeak. So there's something else I can do now that I'm going to be pulling up all this carpet and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, think about your projects. Think about, do you have enough time? Do you have enough money to do it now? Now is the time to do everything if you got the time before you move in, right? But if you don't, you can do it the other way, okay? So 2 different options for you. It's gonna make my life so much easier getting all this painting done without getting it on the carpet, without tediously cutting in all the baseboard and everything down on the carpet. I'm sure glad Mommy told me today, because I was just getting ready to start painting. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. See all the marks on the carpet right there? This is carpet that's already been cleaned. But see, if you look at this carpet right in here, you can tell the carpet's not that old. And what we'll probably do, I don't know what kind of carpet we're going to pick out. I was trying to convince her of some sort of shag, a little bit thicker areas, so you don't see the marks as much. And then maybe when we come in and out, she used to live in Hawaii. She was born and raised in Hawaii. So I'm going to suggest, hey, maybe every time we come in, we take our shoes off and we put on slippers or different things that whatever those shoes are, or slippers, whatever, those are only to be worn inside. So maybe put a bench out here, a little high boy bench type thing, and put our shoes on right here before we go out. You know, when we come in, we change them, or put something over here. You know, a little shoe rack or something. Who knows? And then, you know, later on, we're not going to get any of this, are we? If we wear the only shoes or the only slippers we wear are ones that we have inside the house, we're never going to get those marks, are we? That is just awful. So I'm like, what other options are there other than carpet for these stairs? I mean, I think it would be so expensive to try to take these out and put another type of stair tread on there and riser and paint those. And now you've got hard area underneath your feet. I like the idea of carpet going upstairs because of the cushiness and because you got pad under it and all that kind of stuff. And it looks fine. It's not like by the front door. Here's our front door, and then you walk right up the stairs. Then I don't think I would want carpet. But see, the front door's over there. You walk in here, you don't see the carpeted stairs until you're in the main room. You know? And so I'm going to suggest us just wearing, you know, slip-on shoes or slip-on slippers, you know, and just wear those inside the house. I think she'll go for that. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm going to get busy and start taking up this carpet.